Wagner really takes hold in a way that nothing else does. There's nothing quite like it. The music is all-consuming and overpowering, and when you first come in contact with something like the second part of the ring, the Valkyrie, you just can't help but be completely consumed and overwhelmed, I think. The more you dig, the better it gets. The more you start to understand it, the more profound it is, and it just seems to have a kind of fathomless depth. It just doesn't stop. The more you get into it, the better it is. In Wagner, you can almost say that the music says what the words don't. It perhaps does the subtext. Quite often it tells what's actually going on. It really describes in astonishing detail the kind of enormous passions that are going on in the characters' lives. And Wagner himself was searching for that constantly. Like, he equated music with life itself. He felt that music was as real as life. And so the music just underscores everything, but in the end, it takes over. And the music, in the end, tells the story more intimately than the words do. There's 16 hours of music. We've got to just be on top of things constantly. We've got about 4 directors running around at the same time as well. Again, there's one guy at the top, and then there are 3 assistant directors. There are 2 leaders of the orchestra. One of them does the Valkyrie and Götterdämmerung, the other one does Rheingold and Siegfried, and the same will be within the orchestra leaders of the different sections, because it's just too taxing to do the whole lot, you know. And there's just so much music, and I think even if you've done it a couple of times, you're still sort of turning the page and going, oh yeah, that's right, it's this bit.
And now this was everywhere else louder. If that is the case, that means you need to...
As the conductor, you've got to be responding, not just showing exactly what you want, but also responding to what the musicians are giving. And Pietri does that most beautifully. He just sort of, he's very, very much in control, but he's very much listening. And the hardest thing and the most important thing to do as a conductor is to listen. And that's what Pietri does extremely well. I mean, he's doing things quite differently even from the last time he did them, which is really exciting. I mean, you know, he's 3 years older, he's 3 years better, he knows the score 3 years more deeply, more intensely. He's had 3 years to think about it. I'm sure he hasn't been thinking about it for 3 years, but it just, you know, it matures, and he comes back to it and he just thinks, oh, you know, I'll do that in 2. I don't need to do that, and I'll just let the orchestra play this bit, they know this bit. He'll do some things faster, some things slower. We've had quite a few things are faster and more sort of even more exciting, I would say. So yeah, there's a huge amount of room, and I think even through the performances, there'll be quite a lot of difference. For me, this production has got so many really wonderful moments. It's sort of a very, in some ways, understated, and then it's got some moments which are incredibly grand. And that combination of fantastic story and astonishing music, in my mind some of the greatest music ever written, is just completely overwhelming.